Okay, so as you see here, this is a small sample of some of the parts that have been dried up after me painting it with the metallic black. And as you can see, it came out pretty good. Let me give you a close-up example of it. It does have like a tinge of like a sparkle to it. Well, actually, when I was spraying it, before, you do see the sparkling effect of it, and then as it dries up, I guess sparkle goes away. But I guess I didn't want it to be sparkly. If that was the case, I would probably use 2 layers or 3 layers of gunmetal. But no, I'm actually quite pleased with what I'm looking at here. It came out unexpectedly pretty well done. Some parts I didn't have to paint black. For example, this is actually part of the ankle armor, where these two are like this. Oops, let me get another one like this, as you can see there. And then here is the armor that goes over it. So there's no reason for me to paint this. All I had to do was paint the ends. Some parts that you see here that are not here are still on the tray. I had to respray it again because I missed a part or something like that. Sometimes, like certain edges, like this one, I had to paint an edge, paint over here and here. I had to paint some parts that has the edges exposed, and certain things that I missed. And then another part where, like something like this one, bubbles formed around it, and this happens, I guess, when you either spray too close or something's on the part. So I had to sand it down and respray it again, and just comes out okay. So this completes all the black parts. Now let's move on to the next part, and that is the inner frame. So here is the inner frame, fully built and constructed, of the Titus. And you have to admit, this is a very, very big, bulky looking mobile suit and kit that I have ever worked with. I mean, there are other kits that I've worked with that are big, but that was because of the added armor. But never seen one with so much bulkiness on an inner frame. It's been a while since, actually, I don't think I remember seeing a kit like that. Maybe what do you call it, the Zaku 2 will probably come close in kits that I have. I know there are other kits out there that are probably bulky, kind of like, let's say the Gelgoog is probably a bulky kit to have, and the Dom, but I never had those kits before. But seeing this one is interesting and a unique look to it. I had to put these on so that way I can put on the hands and it looks okay. Even though I'm impressed with the work and the looks of this kit, I'm kind of slightly disappointed in its legs, and not because of how it is. I'm so used to like some sort of added weight that the legs give you in terms of density of amount of parts. Yeah, it is big, but it doesn't feel heavy to you. And when you have to balance it on, even though this doesn't have the parts that will keep it up, it is very uneven. It is articulated. That is true, and I kind of do like how it is. But maybe if Bandai would have added an extra layer of internal parts, maybe I would, this would sell me on the fact that it's a big kit, or it feels like a big kit. But I could see, I don't know, I don't see how this kit will look like with its inner frame out, and if somebody wants to make a diorama, you really need to put some more detail on this. The only detail I see is around here, and that's it. Well, anyway, that's my kind of like my only gripe of the Titus. Titus still looks amazing, especially with these big fingers. Some parts that I didn't put on, like these, will be painted separately, but I'll of course be removing this leg. These arms come up pretty easily, and that's another thing that I'm kind of trying to understand, why they would make these little nubs smaller. If they added it in like a little higher up to here, then, and put it up there, then I can understand it. But wow, this threw me off. This really threw me off. But everything else is okay. The body is pretty good, especially when you do this and pull this out, and this like that right there. And of course the arms keeps falling. I might as well keep them off now, considering I'm about to put them on part. I got to take the arms apart, take out the black, and then start ready to. Who the hell is doing that? Get ready to paint the color that I want. Okay, so now I'm going to start painting the charcoal parts using metallic gray. I've already prepared my airbrush here. As you can hear the compressor on, and I'm just going to give it a pass like so. I decided not to prime it like I mentioned before, considering that it is the same color. I did sand it down a bit so that way it's okay. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm just only going to do a few parts so you guys can see. Here's the shoulder. I'm only doing like the inside of this, since this is the part where it pops out for the beam effects from the shoulders extends out, and then around the some areas around here. So, that's okay. The waist unit, I'll definitely have to paint from the inside. And then inside the skirts. And then from the top. That's good enough. Alright. Here's one of the thigh legs. I actually need to just paint the inside over here. And the bottom. But kind of like when I made the mistake with the with my other kits, where I forgot in this specific area. I want to make sure I cover everything. Here's the head. The top part of the head I need to cover, since it's the part where it's exposed, and of course the neck. Just give it a good cover, and then I'll give it a second pass as it's drying while I'm taking care of this. Smaller parts would probably be, of course, the hand. There we go. Here's the closed fist, where I had to sand it down pretty good so it doesn't show off the scar marks. Again, I will continue ranting as to why they don't use perfect grade hands for this. This is pretty much perfect for it. This is the inside of the actual wrist of the hand. All I need to paint is this side. There we go. And then of course the canopy with the little front part. I took out the figure front inside, so that way it doesn't get accidentally painted metallic gray. Let's do one more thing. Here's the shoulders. I mean the elbows of the arms. There we go. And yeah, this part here is part of the extending arm when you pull out the arm and show off that beam disc, the lariat. I think it's called the lariat. Correct me if I'm wrong. There we go. So I'm going to be busy here. Let me continue on with this, and we'll show the final results once the paint has dried up.